Across the sprawling, untamed plains of the American Southwest, where the winds carry echoes of forgotten battles and the spirits of those who once roamed free, one name rises above the countless legends of Native American warriors. That name is Quanah Parker, the last chief of the mighty Comanche nation, a man whose unyielding bravery and tactical brilliance defined the twilight of a proud and independent people. In this journey, we delve into the extraordinary life of Quanah Parker, a fearless leader, an indomitable warrior, and a symbol of resilience who stood as a bridge between two vastly different worlds, Native American traditions in the modern world. Born around 1845 in the Wichita Mountains of what is now southwestern Oklahoma, Quanah Parker was the son of Comanche chief Peta Nocona and Cynthia Ann Parker, an Anglo-American who had been abducted as an 8-year-old child during the Fort Parker massacre in 1836 and assimilated into the Noconi tribe. Then she would later get married to Chief Peta Nocona, making Quanah a product of both Native American and Anglo heritage. Raised as a Comanche, Quanah learned to ride, hunt, and fight. Even as a boy, his leadership qualities were evident. He grew into a formidable warrior, tall and striking, with piercing eyes that seemed to hold the vastness of the plains. Cynthia Ann's capture and subsequent integration into the Comanche tribe had profoundly influenced Quanah's identity. Growing up with a mother who had experienced both worlds, he developed a unique perspective on the tensions between Native Americans and settlers. This duality would later shape his leadership style, making him a living symbol of the fraught and often violent frontier. A frontier he would come to dominate as both a feared warrior and a respected negotiator. The Comanche Wars were a series of violent conflicts fought between Comanche and Spanish, Mexican, and American militaries and civilians in the United States and Mexico from as early as 1706 until at least the mid-1870s. They erupted in the 1870s as American settlers encroached on Comanche territory in Texas and surrounding areas. Tensions escalated due to the settlers' relentless expansion, which threatened the Comanche way of life, their hunting grounds, and their autonomy. As settlers moved westward, the Comanche, known for their fierce resistance, engaged in a series of battles to defend their land, where Quanah emerged as a key leader in the fierce resistance against encroaching white settlers and the U.S. Army. In 1871, Blanco Canyon was the site of the Battle of Blanco Canyon between the U.S. Army and Native American warriors led by Quanah Parker. On the night of October 9th, Colonel Mackenzie's cavalry column established their camp along the White River in Blanco Canyon. Under the cover of darkness, Quanah Parker and his warriors launched a daring raid, charging through the encampment and successfully driving off 66 Army horses. At dawn the next day, a detachment from the cavalry scouted the canyon and spotted a small group of Comanche warriors herding several of the stolen horses. Without hesitation, the soldiers pursued them through the rugged terrain. It was an ambush. The soldiers pursued a small group of warriors up a narrow hill, unaware that a far larger force of Comanches, estimated at around 400 strong, was lying in wait. Among them was their leader, Quanah, who stood out vividly. Carter later described him, quote, "His face was smeared with black war paint, which gave his features a satanic look. As panic spread, Captain Edward Hale's troops broke and fled, leaving Lieutenant Carter and 5 men stranded on an exposed prairie ridge, fighting for their survival. Carter quickly ordered his men to dismount and use their repeating rifles, which claimed the lives of 5 Comanche warriors. In the chaos, Private Leander Gregg was caught unhorsed and vulnerable. With precision and ferocity, Quanah shot him in the head and without hesitation claimed his scalp. Quanah began to withdraw upon noticing the approach of Mackenzie's military reinforcements. June 27, 1874, marked one of Quanah's major military engagements, the Second Battle of Adobe Walls, where 700 Comanche warriors, led by Quanah, attacked a trading post in the Texas Panhandle. Set against the backdrop of increasing tensions and encroachment on Comanche lands, this battle was a response to the growing presence of buffalo hunters in the Texas Panhandle, which threatened the Comanche's primary food source. The battle was fierce. Under the cover of pre-dawn darkness, Quanah led his warriors against a seemingly insignificant foe, 28 buffalo hunters fortified with new, long-range Sharps rifles. As the Comanches charged, bullets roared through the air. Even with superior numbers, the Comanche were repelled by the unexpectedly strong resistance. Despite their bravery and strategic planning, the Comanche faced a well-armed group of buffalo hunters who were prepared for the assault. The battle ended in a tactical retreat for Quana and his warriors, but it was a deadly reminder of the changing times, highlighting the devastating impact of modern weaponry on traditional warfare. The Red River War, which took place from 1874 to 1875, was a significant conflict between the U.S. government and several Native American tribes, including the Comanche. The war was primarily fueled by the encroachment of settlers on traditional hunting grounds and the diminishing buffalo population, which was vital to the Comanche way of life. As tensions escalated, the U.S. military sought to force the Comanche and other tribes onto reservations, leading to a fierce struggle for survival. Quana was at the forefront of many of these conflicts, engaging in several fierce confrontations, clashing repeatedly with Colonel Ranald S. Mackenzie. One of the significant battles was at the Battle of Buffalo Wallow, where Quana exhibited extraordinary bravery. Despite their efforts, the Comanche faced overwhelming military force, and the conflict ultimately culminated in a series of defeats. In 1875, realizing the futility of continued resistance and the looming threat of extinction, Quana led his people to surrender at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. This was devastating for the Comanche Nation. The defeat led to the forced relocation of many tribes to reservations, drastically altering their traditional lifestyle and autonomy. This eventual surrender of the Comanche and the loss of their traditional lands reshaped their future and Quana's role as a leader. Quanah Parker's leadership during this tumultuous period would later influence his efforts to advocate for his people's rights and cultural preservation in the years that followed. After the tumult of the wars, Quanah Parker transitioned from a fierce warrior to a respected leader. As a chief on the reservation, Quana navigated the complex political landscape with the same acumen he had shown in war. He fought for Comanche land rights, education, and self-sufficiency. He also became a successful rancher, embraced Christianity, and even became a Freemason, all while maintaining his Comanche identity and heritage. In addition to his advocacy, Quana was a passionate promoter of Comanche culture and education. He believed in the importance of preserving traditional practices while also embracing modern education. He encouraged the establishment of schools for Comanche children, ensuring they received a well-rounded education that honored their heritage. Quana's home, known as Star House, became a meeting place for both Native American leaders and influential whites, including ranchers, military officers, and politicians. His unique position allowed him to bridge two cultures, earning respect from both. One of his significant achievements was his involvement in negotiating treaties that aimed to protect Comanche land and resources. Quanah Parker passed away on February 23, 1911, but his legacy is timeless. As a warrior, he was formidable. As a leader, visionary. Quanah's life epitomizes the struggle and adaptation of the Comanche people, reflecting the broader saga of America's growth and the painful transition from the old ways to the new. From the battlefields to the council rooms, Quanah Parker remains a symbol of strength and resilience, a man who walked between worlds and left an indelible mark on both. In modern times, Quanah Parker has received numerous honors and recognitions. His legacy is celebrated through monuments, historical sites, and cultural events that highlight his contributions. Schools and organizations bear his name, ensuring that his story continues to inspire and educate people about the strength and resilience of Native American communities. This is why Quanah Parker is truly one of history's battle-tested. If you enjoyed this exploration of Quanah Parker's legacy, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share. Your support helps us create more engaging content that honors the stories of influential figures like Quanah Parker. Thank you for watching.